Since the 1980s, this whole area of London has been subject to a massive redevelopment project, which is moving up a gear thanks to the Olympics. And as you can imagine though, these huge changes will produce some losers along with the winners, with some people fighting to preserve their way of life. Sadie 9 reports.
Away from this somewhat bleak industrial area in Hackney Wick hides a little gem. Just across the River Lee is Manor Gardens Allotments. One might say it is a plot of gold. There are 80 allotment plots which provide enough food for over 150 families. I'm here to meet just a few of the people who are devoted to the allotments. And as it's Sunday, I'm ready for my Sunday lunch. But unlike most people, mine is going to be served here, al fresco, on the allotments. It's all thanks to plot holder Hassan and his Turkish cafe. Hi, I'm
Hello.
Sadie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is a bit of a surprise. In fact, Hassan regularly hosts lunch for his friends in his rather unusual shed. This is so fresh. Has any of this been grown by you, Hassan?
That plate you got it now there, everything from the garden.
And he did mean everything. The tomatoes, cucumber, rocket, chilli and even sorrel were all lovingly grown on Hassan's plot. In the 16 years Hassan has been working this plot, he has brought a little bit of the Mediterranean to East London.
We got some olive tree there, that's unusual. And we got another tree there from Cyprus.
Since he started coming to the allotments, Hassan has gained more than just a bag full of fruit and veg. He's also made lifelong friendships with the other gardeners. How long have you all known each other?
I know the rich 15 years. Maybe
Well,
more.
I've
been here 16 years.
When he first came here, I helped him to build his shed.
We sit down and talk, we eat something, cup of tea.
Reg is the real elder statesman of Manor Gardens. He started coming to the allotments when he was just a child, and he has seen many changes in that time.
I started coming up here when I was about 8 years of age.
What, you came up with your father, did you?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I started coming up here before the war with him, and then during the war we got moved off of here, and the army took this site over. When I first started coming up here, it was all the like East End of London people, like, you know, dockers and all that sort.
Reg can remember the man who made all this possible. Local wealthy landowner Major Villiers gave away some of his estate to be used as allotments by people in the area.
He told us that these plots would go on in perpetuity. He said, you'll never be thrown off of here, you'll be here forever.
But it seems that forever doesn't last that long anymore. It turns out that the allotments are slap bang in the middle of the Olympic site and are subject to compulsory purchase order by Olympic planners, the London Development Agency.
The allotment site is at the heart of the Olympic Park that we're looking to develop, and obviously we're trying to assemble all the land to make that happen.
Far from losing the plot, the gardeners here are happy to take on the LDA and stop their plans to bulldoze this site. The Manor Garden Society are meeting to discuss the next step of their campaign.
Well, they've got to be made to feel, I think, that it's going to be incredibly embarrassing if the first stage of this whole thing is the demolition of this place.
It's not something that can just be picked up and plonked down somewhere else.
The London Development Agency have offered them an alternative site, but moving locations isn't as simple as it sounds.
They want us off of here by March, so we can't plant anything now that we would want to harvest, let's say, around March and April time.
20, 30 years, I think, you might start to get something a bit like this. We have something that's very human, this rich mix, that's very complex, you know.
The new site will only be available for 6 or 7 years, and then they'll have to move again. The plot holders would prefer to find a permanent solution before Manor Gardens is gone forever.
If they can come up with something that is a compromise, they'll put that to the members. We're not anti-Olympics, you know, we think it's great, some bits of this area need regenerating, But let us be part of that.
Unfortunately, it won't be possible to incorporate the allotments with the Olympics, and in fact it won't be very desirable because this will be a large building site for a period of 7 years, and then we'll be looking to introduce new allotments in 2013. Now, we haven't got any firm proposals about that at the moment, but we will be getting planning permission for this increased provision of allotments.
There's all this kind of talk about Green Olympics, and yet they're taking out the greenest thing they've got.
But it's not just the environment that will suffer. The allotments are a meeting place where the local people are united simply by their love of the land.
They told me these allotments were possibly threatened, a bit precarious. And I just think it's so important socially, because the casual meeting, somebody may be a bus driver or an architect or whatever, and then they will have this common interest, you know, which unites them. And obviously people pass on their know-how.
9-year-old Josephine has gained a lot of gardening know-how from her grandfather Eddie. She's been helping on his plot since she was just knee-high.
I know most of the people down the place. I just like how the idea to make your own crops. It teaches you about different kind of food and what kinds are they, from like different potatoes and normal potatoes. And I think it saves a lot of money growing your own crops.
I'm fascinated. Can I have a go? Can I help at all?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. I'll have to watch. You'll have to teach me. How do we do it, Eddie?
Normally we use a fork with put the fork back here at the moment.
Right, I'll have a little go, shall I? Oh, yes, I can see some potatoes. Oh, look at that. My first ever potato. Look at that. Have you got your own children interested?
We're friends. They used to come over every weekend, and like on a Friday night, they all says, you know, some night, 6, 7 of them, they says, are we going camping tonight, like, you know, spend the night here? It's like one big family. Like one big family. You know?
Now, it sounds to me like with the barbecues and with the sheds and with the tree houses, these are more than allotments.
Yeah.
This is a way of life. These are your gardens.
Tell you something, this is like a second home over here, like, nice.
We've had moments in this campaign where the plot holders have all seemed to sort of be drifting off and losing interest, and, you know, suddenly they've all kind of come back together and got fired up again. We have got through 2 world wars. You know, we've survived those. It's an act of vandalism, very short-term thinking to just delete it.
These people have shown me that it's much more than fruit and veg which is being cultivated here. It's the friendships between the allotment owners. And these, as you can imagine, cannot easily be uprooted and replanted elsewhere, any more than Hassan's beautiful fig tree can be. So I'd like to take a moment and enjoy this calm and beautiful place and raise a toast to all the Manor gardeners. May your future be fruitful, whatever it brings. Cheers.